Hey everybody, before we get into this awesome video, I wanted to announce a giveaway that I'm doing. I am giving away a Wild Game Innovations 360 cellular camera. I used the camera last year and I decided that it is so awesome that I want to give it away to one of you guys. So all you got to do to enter the drawing is subscribe if you're not subscribed already, like the video, share with at least one friend, but the goal is to share it with as many people as possible and then comment done. I'm not going to give away the camera until I've reached 500 subscribers. I think we're sitting at around 280 right now. So let's get as many people subscribed to Kickin Feet Outdoors as possible. And as soon as we reach that 500 mark, I will draw and then announce the winner. So like I said, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, like the video, share with a friend, comment done in the comment section, and that is it. Very simple, and I'm looking forward to giving away this awesome cellular camera to one of you lovely people. Now let's get into this awesome video.
But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. Job 12:7-10.
All right, hey everybody. Well, welcome back to another episode of Kickin Feet Outdoors, and even further than that, another episode of Kickin Kitchen. So this is the second episode of Kickin Kitchen, and it's really good to be back and getting some stuff done. There's really no need for a super long introduction today. Today we're going to be teaching you guys how to can venison, and I'm also going to be learning just like you guys because I've never done it. So Mama Warner or Mama Danelle or Mama Kickin Feet Outdoors, whatever you want to call her, she's in charge today. We're going to be learning, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We've got about 15 pounds of venison here that I think is going to get cut down a little bit further, and we've got pretty much everything prepped. I don't know if you want to give a little bit of an introduction and kind of talk about what we've prepped, and we'll just kind of dive right into it.
Sure. Yep. So we've got the venison, like Garrett was saying, and then we've got some canning and pickling salt. Salt really is optional in the canning realm of it. If you want to cut the salt in half or leave it out for health reasons, you're welcome to do that, but we're going to use it today. Then we've got some fresh beef suet which is beef fat from our local butcher. And we're going to add a little bit of that to each jar, and that will just ensure a little bit more juiciness, basically flavor. A little bit more fat and flavor, to the jar when you open it, to use it in whatever you're going to use it for. Venison Manhattans, venison stroganoff, venison and noodles, whatever you feel like you want to serve your family.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Heck yeah. Well,
and then we've got our jars prepped and ready to go. Mason jars. We've got our pressure canner, which is really important for canning meat. It needs to be a pressure canner. And then we've got our lids that are warming up and rings that are warming up for our canning jars. So we're ready to go.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on why the pressure canner is important when canning meat? Because I don't know.
Sure.
Probably most people don't.
Yeah, when canning meat like beef or venison or any other meat or any other low acid food like green beans, perhaps, something like that, you need to have a pressure canner because it allows the canner to come up to a higher temperature and kill any of those botulism spores.
Okay, cool. What would you like to get into first?
All right, well, do you want to trim down some venison?
Sure, yeah.
We'll get going.
What size are you thinking? Are you wanting like inch cubes, half-inch cubes?
Yeah, whatever you need for whatever your recipes, that's what I would do. For me, I typically used it for beef stroganoff or beef noodles or venison and noodles, venison stroganoff, those kind of things. So,
would you do?
When I was doing it all the time, I was raised in a family, so we had smaller pieces, but you can really do whatever you want to. You could make that into stew. You could can it in a stew. You can do really whatever you can think of that you did with beef, you can do with venison.
Okay, awesome.
I'll go ahead and start with that jar.
So you're thinking about like something like that, or even smaller than that?
No, that's perfectly fine, or even a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's the size of 50-cent piece.
Right. It's not rocket science. It's all gonna Heat the same, right?
Yeah.
That's probably good. So, do you want me to start dropping them into the jars then?
You can if you want to, since you've already got your hands going.
Okay. Yeah, and this venison has already been pretty cleaned up. I think all this came from that doe that I shot back in October, and so it's already been pretty well cleaned up and cut down. So now we're just breaking it in smaller pieces. And that's kind of getting hot and stuff. I don't know if you want to talk
I've got the canner going. I can tell you a little bit more about that. Canner, like I said, it's a pressure canner, and it holds about 7 quarts. And you put in 3 quarts of water into the bottom of the canner, and Garrett will have pictures of that online. And that's just getting ready for the water that's needed to surround the jars while they're canning. In the meantime, I've got my really old canning book, and it's really sweet and tells you everything that you need to do. You can find how many pounds of pressure that you need to have on your canner, which this is the way that we tell that. And then it has some charts in here depending on what you want to can, and it'll tell you how many pounds of pressure and for how long. So we've got that all ready to go. We know that we're going to be canning this venison at 10 pounds of pressure for about 90 minutes in these quart jars. And this little gadget tells me that that's 10 pounds of pressure. So we'll leave that one aside.
How full are you wanting these jars?
I mean, typically, when you are canning anything, it's about 1 inch of headspace, and headspace is really just down to this bottom ring. For venison or beef, I'll leave just a little bit more room, and then that will allow plenty of room for our little bit of fat that we're going to put in there and the salt. But we don't really want to go any further down.
Okay.
We wouldn't do like a half a jar.
So
we want to come
maybe about that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. We also have a ball canning book laying here, and it's really helpful. I got both my kids one of these when they started watching TikToks a couple of years ago, and everybody was canning things, and I saw some videos that were a little bit scary. People were canning things in a water bath canner that maybe could potentially be dangerous. So I went ahead and got online and sent them both one of these via Amazon to their home so that they could take a good look in here. These ball canning books are so handy, and they not only have recipes in here, but they tell you, how you need to preserve what you want to preserve. So say you want to make some fruit roll-ups with your strawberries, there's recipes in there for that. So anything that you're using your food dehydrator for to dry things. And then it also has what should be water bath and what should be pressure can. So really helpful, keep your family healthy. When I was young, new to canning, my husband's grandma lovingly taught me how to can, and she's quite a bit older than we are, and back in those days they did water bath can a lot of things, including meats. In fact, we have their big old canner on our back porch holding a beautiful fern. But after taking some classes for my career, I quickly learned about what could or couldn't be canned, and we just didn't want to take any chances in making our family sick. So we went to pressure canning. Luckily for me, and that was back in probably 2004 when I got this canner for $5 at a garage sale in town. So you can't beat that. Important if you are buying a used canner, check the seal, check with your county, usually your Tractor Supply or your Rural King, or you can even order them on Amazon, I'm sure, to make sure you have a good seal for your canner. So you are getting up to that pressure. So, okay, so since Garrett has got one jar going already, let me put that over there. Is that comfortable for you?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and, oops, sorry, babe. Pack this meat down. I'll show you how I do that. So you could use your little wooden plunger if you want to. You could use a spoon, it doesn't really matter. Just something that you can press the meat down in with. So we're just gonna pack this down, and this will show you, viewers and also Garrett, that basically what you want to do is, you could see here that there's some like little air spaces in here. You want to try to get out as much air as you can. I'll show you why you're going to pack it down in there.
And why is that?
Well, the air could cause your jar to crack when you're canning it, and you don't want to go through all how much time and effort you put into either your garden or your harvest, just to have it ruined in the canner when your jar cracks and your product goes all over in the canner. It's not good. So you can see after packing, we've got quite a bit of space in here. We're going to go ahead and add a little bit more. That one. So excited for you to get to winter and
Me too.
be a nice cold day, and you make something cozy for one of these jars of venison. So it'll be really nice.
Yeah, I look forward to that too. That's my favorite time of the year, is the fall and winter seasons and the hunting. I don't like the heat. And
No, I think that one's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go with about a table. Oh, it's actually a teaspoon.
I don't
It's
remember.
a teaspoon of salt.
Teaspoon of salt.
Teaspoon of salt. Maybe you want to measure it over something else or put it in a bowl or whatever. I'm not gonna. It may or may not spill. It's probably not a good practice, but that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna add a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add it's really nice. Garrett's butcher actually ground up his beef fat. Otherwise, you might find it in a great big chunk. Some people use it to feed the birds. You can use it for lots of good things.
And say people did have a
Makeup
chunk
products.
or chunked it up instead of being cut into small pieces like that. You would just add like a
I would just add about
inch.
that much. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's like an inch by inch or so, whatever you
Okay.
think. So we'll leave that in there for you. And now, basically, this jar is ready to go. It's ready to be sealed up and put in the canner.
Awesome. So it's got the salt in there. You've got your cannon pickling salt, and then we've got our ground beef fat.
Yeah. Yep, done with that. So now what we need to do is take a nice clean towel and wipe off all of the rims of the jars. You want to do that so that you don't have anything sticky or any food particles on there that would keep you from sealing your lids. So we're just going to wipe them all down.
Worked out pretty good though with the 7-quart jars.
Yeah, it did.
And we can fit 7-quart jars in the can.
Yep.
Gonna be so yummy.
God, I had it all figured out. Yeah, it's gonna be really nice. Like you said, good old homemade noodles, cold winter day, beef stew.
Oh yeah. Maybe make a venison pot pie at some point. That'd be real good.
That'd be really good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is just bring over our lids. They're not ever to boil, but they're supposed to get really hot and sterilize and also soften and seal so that we can put them in the canner. So we'll just start putting lids on. So now we're going to put on the rings on our canning jars. It's really important that you don't over tighten them. You just basically hand tighten them until you feel them feel snug, and that's about right.
And what's the importance of that?
Because if you over tighten them, they could pop when they expand with the heat. So you definitely don't want to do that. When you pull your jars out, I'll show you. You're going to see that they're a lot more loose than when they went in. They'll be pretty loose. You let them cool down and then you can tighten them up. And some people don't even store them with the ring on. They store them just like this after they've water bathed, and then you put them on your shelf. I don't know why I always just kind of leave the rings on.
Yeah.
Just what I've always done. Unless I needed some rings. So now I'm just going to place the jars in the canner side by side.
You want me to go ahead and pull some more rings out and get them on here?
Sure, you can do that.
Sure.
I think we'll do a couple of your smaller ones if you don't mind. Maybe like one big one and two small ones.
One big one and two small ones.
Yeah, so 1 quart, 2 pints.
That should be good.
Thank you. Yeah, about right. So we'll just run 2 canners through. It's no problem. Better be safe than sorry. Won't crowd anything. Thank you. Yeah, now you can see there's about 3 quarts of water in the pot and then the canning jars. So now what we're going to do is test our vent. Here, and well, this is our vent. Put the canner on, and then, oops, I did it wrong. Backwards. You'll know, it only goes one way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the heat a little bit. And what's going to happen is some steam's going to come out this little vent hole right here. And we're going to let that go pretty good for 7 to 10 minutes. And then once that's done, we're going to put on our 10 pounds of pressure. And when we put this on, at first it won't move at all, but then it's going to make this sh-sh-sh sound, and it's going to rock back and forth. And then we're going to know that that's when we start our timer. So we'll just set that aside for now. And we'll wait a few minutes. It might take 5 or 6, 7 minutes to get this going. Okay, so now the canner's been setting for a little while, so it should be good. Remove the weight and no more steam's coming out, so it should be safe to take the lid off.
Just to reiterate, we canned for 90 minutes, so an hour and a half, and then we pulled it off the heat, let it rest for 25 minutes, and then now that there's no steaming coming out, we're able to actually take off the lid and we'll get our jars of canned venison out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Showtime. Thank you, Jesus, for the harvest. Okay, so we're going to carefully, just slowly let any residual steam out. Water's coming. We're going to be really careful taking the jars out because they're going to change temperature really quickly, and we don't want to lose all of our hard work, so we're going to be really careful. We also have our air off right now because it's first hot day of summer. We turn the air off so that the temperature in the house could be closer to the temperature in the canner.
They look beautiful.
Yeah, if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
It's really nice. Very tender. It's going to be perfect. Canning its own juices for any recipe.
And remember, y'all, that we did not add any water to those jars or broth, anything like that. Everything you see in there, all that liquid, is its own broth that is cooked itself while it underwent the canning process.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah. And then the last thing we do is, you can see, if you look close, the lids are kind of heaped. As they cool down, you'll hear this ping or pop. It's the temperature changing, and the lid will be kind of vacuumed down, and then they'll be preserved. We'll still wait about 24 hours or so. I'll check them in a couple of hours. They should have all popped by then and sealed. If there was something that didn't seal, or we were suspicious of, we would go ahead and just take that and put it in the refrigerator or the freezer after it got to room temperature, and then use it ASAP.
Because it's fully cooked.
Yep.
At this point.
Yep. But all these jars, as they seal, and that means they're preserved and they come to room temperature, then they'll be good to put on your shelf.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So we're going to cover them up just to keep any drafts or anything like that off of them. And then we'll be able to start our last 3 jars.
Perfect. Well, Mom, I really appreciate you teaching us how to can our own venison here at home.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I think it's really not a hard process as long as you got the right equipment and the right attitude to go about it, right? So thank you. And thank you guys for watching another episode of Kickin Kitchen. And, until next time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, like the video, share with some friends, and yes, go ahead and stick with it.